Respected, you can. Kulpati Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University invite His Excellency the Chancellor Sri T.S.L. Narasimhan Ji for his presidential address.
Respected Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Dr. Raman Singh, the most distinguished, most respected Dr. Padma Bhushan, Dr. Anil Kapoor. Here is a man who was recognized as a Bhushan even years back by the Government of India. No wonder we have this party the alumni of the Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University and ministers in Dr. Raman Singh's cabinet today present on the dais. Mr. Brij Mohan Agarwal, Mr. Ajay Chandrakar, Mr. Dr. Krishnamurti Bandi, Rajesh Munar, Sunil Soni, Vice Chancellor Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Dr. Lakshman Chaturvedi, Vice Chancellors from the other universities in Chhattisgarh, the graduating students, those honored with doctorate degrees this afternoon, distinguished invitees, gracious ladies and gentlemen. I have a great advantage of being the last speaker in that I don't have to say much. I don't know, as usual, I maybe think things are far irrelevant, and I know as I get an advantage of saying that Tani Balam Kadu Staniya Balam. It says it is not your own strength, but the strength of the office that you enjoy. So that is on that basis that I am going to speak here. It is said that thesis plus antithesis leads to synthesis. And so what I propose to do is really antithesis after the wonderful thesis which is presented by Dr. Anil Kapoor. Both these put together will probably be synthesis. And I think I need to speak less so that you could retain all the pearls of wisdom that have been put in by Dr. Anil Kapoor this afternoon. Dr. Anil Kapoor, I would like first to say how honored we feel with your presence in our midst this afternoon, and privileged by the simple fact that maybe not today, but decades later, certainly, we will all have a proud moment to cherish when at some particular point of time in Indian history, we would say that we all heard Dr. Anil Kapoor, many of us saw him in flesh and blood, and I for one can certainly say that I sat next to him. I'm sure this moment is going to come in the history of India very soon. As put in by Dr. Raman Singh, the services that Dr. Anil Kapoor has rendered thus far to the nation, and what is in store for us, which of course many of us today are probably ignorant and will never be ignorant, is for the next century to see and realize what this great man's contribution has been to this country's nuclear science. While the last century witnessed the emergence of great Indian scientists known for the pioneer scientific research, with the era gone by brings to memory the Nobel C.V. Raman, a Nobel Prize awardee, and other scientific famous like those K.S. Bohr and Meghanand Saha, each one of whom has rendered landmark contribution in his own field of specialization. We are fortunate to have this lineage continuing in this century also, thanks to people like Dr. Anil Kapoor and scientists of this great caliber. While it is indeed a matter of great pride that our education system is one of the largest in the world, our research output could probably do a little more to make itself noticeable. The need of the hour is for our universities to initiate significant efforts to motivate young minds to join streams of sciences and carry out original research work, which would enable mankind at large to benefit in various fields. Although we could claim to be among the top 10 industrialized nations in the world, with the third largest stock of scientific and technological personnel, and the country's science and technology has still considerable contribution to make to enhance the quality of life of millions of Indian residents living in far-flung rural areas of our country. I would urge upon those responsible to consider revamping our higher education system from the university level itself, so that they become nurseries which will help the growth of scientists and enhance their contribution to mankind. National prosperity demands adequacy of technology, raw materials and capital. Of these, technology is largely dependent on the study of science and its application. Once this is taken care of, the other two factors, namely raw materials and capital, could be addressed with greater confidence. Chhattisgarh, as you are aware, is a storehouse of raw material. The call of the hour is converting this raw material to the use of scientific manpower into a vast capital. It should be the foremost task of all universities in Chhattisgarh to create a conducive environment which will facilitate science and technology-related researches. Teachers, of course, play a very vital role in quality assurance of higher education. Universities should provide a congenial atmosphere for teachers to carry out research in the domain of interest that is relevant to the overall being of society. Teachers are managers of knowledge, and knowledge comes from research. I would earnestly appeal to the authorities not to permit dilution in standards of education under any circumstances. Mushrooming of education institutions of higher learning, devoid of basic infrastructure and faculty, without any set objective to promote quality education, will do us no good. In fact, merely turning out students without adequately equipping them to face the challenges before society is not going to help the society. Please remember this, and I would earnestly urge all those connected to the sacred field of education, please do not compromise quality for the sake of education. You will be paying a very heavy price in the decades to come. And it is my earnest request to students and teachers and to all present here that let us not accept any compromise on quality of education, because this is a sacred trust, and focus